Well, as we alluded to, we've got a very special guest here, super Turkish agent, Muzzi Ozcan.
Football agent is it's a big responsibility because you have someone's future, someone's career, and you have to make sure they get the best out of it. My clients as my family. I treat them as my family. They're always welcome into my house, and we have a very good relationship where we can discuss everything. What the fans need to understand is, if it wasn't for us, that transfer won't happen. So we actually are good guys. We have to represent our players and we have to get paid for it. No one does a free work. The agent will always think about the player first. They'll get the maximum for the player. As football agents, I think the biggest pride, the biggest happiness, the biggest joy I get is when I've known I've changed my player's life for a better reason. Seeing your player doing very well, seeing your player score.
How we doing, mate? Great to see you.
Yeah, great to see you guys. Yeah, I'm very well, thank you very much. Woken up Saturday morning, and great to be live with you guys.
Amazing. Well, yeah. I mean, how did you get started in what you do, mate? How did you get started in football agency?
I started off with a close family friend, they called Colin, Kazim-Richards. He was playing at Bury and Sheffield United and Brighton and so on. We at that time I helped him and his father at the time, Mr. Rodney Richards, to move Colin over to Fenerbahce. So that was my first experience, and then from there it's just been a roller coaster. I mean, I've had obviously started from the bottom, and I've climbed up, and I've had a lot of experiences and a lot of interesting things happening, and things that I never expected that will happen in football. I experienced and I saw saw my own eyes, and it's an very interesting industry, and it's a very challenging industry, especially to survive and to be successful in. Certain criteria of being a perfection person don't really exist in football, unfortunately.
There was he's from Walthamstow, isn't he, Colin Kazim-Richards?
Yeah, Walthamstow.
Yeah. He's, and I seem to remember he got purchased by some form of. There was a competition, wasn't there? And he
Coca-Cola. £250,000. He got purchased from Bury to Brighton.
Yeah, I remember that now. Yeah. He's a bit of a buzz name at the moment, isn't he? He's come back with a vengeance and he's really doing well at Derby. I didn't realise how old he was. He doesn't look it, does he?
No. I mean, last month I was with him. He's absolutely a beast. I haven't seen many footballers built up like him. He's like, I sort of imaginate myself as a defender. Hitting a player like him. He weighs more than 90 kilos. If I'm not mistaken, he's probably between 88 or 92 kilos. For an outfield player, that's big. And to bounce back off him, I mean, he was playing in Mexico before he came over to the UK. And I'm not sure if you lot guys know, but Mexicans are quite short people. They're very short. And every time I was watching the Mexican football, just watching some of the clips, you could see the defenders bouncing off him. So.
Like a giant out there.
Yeah, in secondary school, when you have year 7s try and play football with year 11s, something like this. It was very, very unfair.
He's one of the very few exports that's actually gone out there, and obviously you set him up on that journey of going abroad and being successful. Like, he had a tremendous time at Corinthians as well.
Yeah.
Like a friend of mine was managing him out there, Mateus from A Management, the guys that brought him even over to Derby. But he's had a really good career, mate. So, and it's good to see that before the recent successes of players going abroad, that you had set that up for him to go out there and go to a country like Turkey that probably wouldn't be seen as somewhere that you can be a launch pad to actually doing something. And a lot of players in their minds going to Turkey is like towards the end of the career, but that's changing. And so you're one of the pioneers that started that off with Colin going out there and having a fantastic career afterwards.
When Colin, I totally agree with you. When Colin went there, he went for around about 1.2 million, if I'm mistaken. So when he went out there, I mean, his mother's Cypriot. His mother's Northern Cyprus. I call her Auntie Emine, great lady. She had, Rodney, his father, and Emine had a lot of, they put a lot of effort for their son. And he grew up in a very bad part of Walthamstow, and even for him to get out there, become professional, and go to Turkey, it was a big accomplishment for him, and he was in the national team. After I think after 2 appearances on the U21 on that Turkish national team. At the time he could have chose Antigua or Britain or the UK. Sorry, Turkey. Turkey, because he had more of a chance. And in 2008 he had the most fantastic. I think it was probably the highest part of his career when Turkey went to the semi-finals of the European Championship, and he played nearly every single game there. So he had a very good experience there. He had a very good. The thing is, he had a lot of fruitful events in his career. I mean, I think it's changed about at least 12 clubs, into 12 clubs throughout his career. And he was one of the few players that went from Fenerbahce to Galatasaray. From Fenerbahce he went to Galatasaray, then from Galatasaray he went to Bursa. He was, from moving from Fenerbahce to Galatasaray as a player, it's a very big no. Most players, no matter how much you offer them, they will reject because it's their arch rivals, and they'll always want to be legend. Either at Gala or Fenerbahce or wherever they're playing before they go to any other club, especially the arch rivals. So he was one of the few players that have done that. There's probably about 10 of them. And
Muzzi, can I just ask as well? Why do you think someone of his qualities moved around so much? Because if you look back at his career, you've just mentioned a lot of the teams that he's been to. He was only there for a year and a half, sometimes maybe 2 years. Did his off the field personality clash with his on the field personality? Was there a big difference there? Why has he moved around for so much and not built a career in one particular club over a period of time?
Well, the reason Colin, first of all, Colin's family, especially his father, never wanted him to come to the UK because at the time he was young, and they were worried that because the boy grew up on the streets. Well, streets. He was not like a street boy, but he was a very player that was focused on his football. But because of bad influences, his family were worried about this, and to be honest, Fenerbahce, one of the biggest clubs in Turkey, and over 30 million fans. And when you play at Sheffield United, not every week in, week out, and you have an offer from the biggest club in Turkey that gives you the opportunity to play in Europe. And when you're at Fenerbahce, you've got more chance of playing in the Turkish national team and so on. So everything was perfectly fitted, and I think Colin enjoyed being outside London. His wife's Brazilian, so he got to he got a new culture from there, a new taste, and from there he went over to Brazil, and then from Brazil went to Mexico, to Holland, Feyenoord, then to Scotland, and Celtic, and so I think he enjoyed it. I think he enjoyed the journey, and the deals and the clubs that he played for were very top clubs. If you look at Colin, he never went through a very, very bad team. Even if he had a bad season, he always managed to get himself. Scotland went to Celtic, the biggest team in Scotland. He went to Holland, to Feyenoord.
Yeah,
one of the top 3 clubs in Holland. So he had this opportunity. He's been very lucky, and also Colin is a character where not people to take the best out of Colin. You have to, and you must understand Colin, because Colin has a very different. Because he had a lot of problems in Turkey, at Fenerbahce especially. They falsely accused him of sex party at the time. Diego Lugano, Roberto Carlos, a player called Bilica.
I remember that. Was he involved? He was meant to be involved in that, was he, at the time? I remember all the players. There was a big scandal.
Well, the way it happened, it was Bilica's, the centre back at Fenerbahce, his wife's birthday. So all the Brazilians went there, and Colin's girlfriend at the time was Brazilian, and they went to the party. And what happened was, these Brazilians were well known for their sex parties and crazy nights and so on. Thing is, when a Turkish player does it, it affects them. But when a player does it from Brazil, when a foreign player does it in Turkey, they understand it and they respect it because they say, "Oh, he's not Turkish." But Colin, the problem with Colin was brought up in Britain, right? And his mum was also brought up in Britain, so they had this ideal. Colin never really grew up in the Turkish culture.
Yeah.
My parents, okay, my mum was Turkish, but the father wasn't Turkish. So everyone had this idea that Colin is Turkish, but Colin is not Turkish. Okay, he's Turkish in heart, but not in the mentality. So there was a bit of a lack, lack of understanding. So what happened was Colin did not even go to the hotel. I was in Istanbul myself there. Colin did not go to the hotel. And Colin came home because his mother and his father came from London. So he had a quick celebration, dropped off the presents, had a free drinks, but he doesn't non-alcoholic drinks. And then he went home. And then what happened was these players go to the hotel, call some girls over, they have their sex party with chains, like crazy, like police cuffs. They have police cuffs on them. There was about 4 or 5 cuffs at the scene. Crazy amount of things. And in Brazil, I don't know. It seems like it's a culture. Culture of.
Sounds like a good night to me.
Yeah. They know how to have fun. They know how to have fun. It's part of their tradition. Not tradition, but the footballers' world. They're a bit crazy on that sort of stuff. Anyway, so then the following morning, because at the time Fenerbahce's president is one of the most powerful people in Turkey. His name is Aziz Yildirim, and Aziz Yildirim has got a very famous. I experienced it myself. So I also always hear about it, but I never really believed it. I did believe it, but not to that certain extent of how he obtains his information. But what happened was he got a report that that Colin was the Brazilian players were having a sex party, but the media put their fingers at Colin. The media would see Colin as a naughty boy. But what happened was the Brazilians, Belica, gave the information to the journalist when he found out that they'd been caught out, and because all the players were married, Belica was married, Diego Lugano was married, Roberto Carlos at the time had a serious relationship girlfriend, because all were committed. But Colin at the time, I might be mistaken if he was at the time with his Brazilian girlfriend Mariana, but I don't remember that part very well. But I think he was either single or he was just going into a relationship with Mariana, his current wife. And what happened was they said that he was part because he had nothing to lose. He didn't have no marriage to lose, So everyone blamed on Colin, and then Colin suffered it, and Colin was. Everyone was saying he's a sex maniac in Turkey, and it's a very conservative country, Muslim country. These sort of things are not accepted. So he suffered a lot of that shit and all that rubbish, unfortunately, and and the rest is the rest just followed on. He went to Galatasaray, also a big story in Turkey. So he had a very, very fruitful. I mean, when he went to Feyenoord, he suffered racism there. He just recently suffered racism at Derby County. Just a few days ago against Nottingham Forest. So he's always had very eventful things happening in his career, but he's very professional. He knows how to control his emotions, and he's very well experienced. I think he's probably one of the most experienced players in the Championship. Because he's gone to so many clubs, in so many different countries, so they all got different ways of playing football and the mentality and the tactical. So and. I'll tell you a story. Just recently at the Derby game, so I was speaking to his father. His father said to me, "Muzzi, so they had a Portuguese player. They had 3 Portuguese players, and they were speaking to each other, giving tactical advice to each other, right? And Colin is understanding everything because there's no fans. There's no fans, so he's understanding what they're saying. And then they made a comment about to Colin, and Colin said." Replied back to them in Portuguese because he could speak Portuguese because of his wife, and he played in football in Brazil. And he said to him in Portuguese, what the fuck, who are you to say that to me, and so on. And then, so the players so when I understood that Colin understands it, they start speaking in Spanish. but Colin's been in Mexico, so he's played in Mexico for 2 years. He understands Spanish. And they said to him, "Hey, I understand this as well." Then they start. Hold on, if you speak English, we get caught out. If you speak Portuguese, we get caught out. If you speak Spanish, we get caught out. So that are the advantages as well. And also, Colin understands. So if one thing, like if I was a coach, I would love to have a player like Colin in my team. If I had a lot of foreign players, because he can be a player that can bring the players together, understand each other players' culture, and can
translate as well.
Translate and can be very supportive to the coach. They just they have a different culture, different mentality.
Sounds like me in a kebab shop at 3 a.m. when I'm trying to translate my mate's food.
It seems like he's been a bit of a late bloomer. I mean, he's had a good career anyway, but at this stage now, watching him play, he's a different player to what you see in his early years, and I think that's come from the experience as well. Especially sort of taking it on board, and he's kind of like the leader at that Derby team now.
Yeah.
I see him at Corinthians as well, and it was a surprise watching him out there, because Corinthians is a huge club out there, and you just don't hear about it over here. And I thought, bloody hell, he's doing well. Do you think the COVID scenario affected the game out there and why he's come back? Is that kind of?
Well, I mean, the last time he was at Mexico before he came to Derby, they hadn't paid his wages for 6 months.
Yeah.
So the boy did not get paid for 6 months, and he still kept his mouth shut, because he was still trying to, tell his players, guys, come on, don't worry, we're all going to get paid, but chill, relax, let's just go. And so he's at that time. Look, even at Turkey, when he came out, Fenerbahce went to Galatasaray and Bursaspor. These clubs was suffering financially in them period. So he was a player who was not really motivated by money. He knew he was going to get his money. Because in football, whatever you're owed, you're always going to get paid. If you don't get paid the full amount, you'll get a settlement amount, which is still fantastic money. So Colin was always in that. So Colin, he was not in this situation. He knew that situation from the start of his career. So when he went to Mexico. And also in Brazil, they had that problem as well. In Brazil, they were 1 month, 2 months late, But in Mexico, they didn't get paid for 6 months. But it was the main factor, was motivating. Colin, I know myself, Enes Ünal, a striker of the Turkish national team. He's in Spain right now at Levante, if I'm not mistaken, or Getafe Levante. I think it's Levante. Enes Ünal. When he was at Bursaspor, Man City, he got sold off to Man City. But before he went to Man City, and when he was playing at Bursaspor, Colin was giving him his own shoes, which he never had worn, or was giving him money to go and buy himself what he needs to buy. So Colin was always, even when he was young, he was always supporting young talent, and he was always a leader. And he's got a leader character. He's a very serious guy. But people had this perspective, hey, he's a naughty guy, he's this and that. But this is all lie. I mean, I know the guy.
He's so dedicated. He's so dedicated to his craft, isn't he? Because when he come back to England, before he got signed for Derby, he put in some serious work with a friend of mine, Mark Finley, a personal trainer for a lot of the footballers and athletes. He's an ex-athlete himself, and he does a lot of the Olympians and stuff. But Mark, you see these sessions they were having, mate, and he put some of it up, and like proper Mamba mentality, relentless in their pursuit of greatness, mate. It's incredible the work that he put in. But you see the results of it now on the pitch. What he's doing over here, being out of England, meant to be Championship's probably one of the toughest leagues in the world, and the guy's crushing it. He's really smashing it, man.
Colin, in fact, regarding Mark Finley, Colin was Mark Finley's first customer. He's the one who.
Wow.
He's from what I know. I mean, if I'm not mistaken, Colin was working with Mark was 6-7 years ago. I mean, and Mark's obviously, Colin advised him to a lot of his friends, professional footballers. So Mark's picked up from there. And Mark is a fantastic trainer as well. I mean, I've had a few of my players train with him, and they said he's,
I've seen what he does, mate. He's fantastic, and that's the part of football, like the general public don't really see.
No.
what you have to actually put in to be an elite sports person, the sacrifices you put in, and it's not just what you do at the football ground. It's actually, the training pitch. It's actually outside in your own space. And what makes one play, like, a squad is 25 people in a football team, but why some players at a different level to the others? Because these guys are outside the football club. They finish training and they're not sitting there wasting their time. The other times they're looking to improve mentally, physically, which is so important, as I'm sure
Muzzy,
you confirm.
just on a point that you raised a moment ago in regards to some of the clubs defaulting on salaries and payments and whatnot. There's been one notable club this week, Inter Milan, have defaulted on Lukaku's payments. So they're going to have to either make an agreement for, it seems, I don't know this to be fact, but it seems that they're either going to have to make an agreement for one of their players, Skriniar for the centre back, maybe one of them, they're saying, or Inter Milan are going to have to pay the full figure up front. Now, that's one result of COVID. Have you seen other elements like that in the background that you've witnessed, or?
Yeah. I think I have more than 6 clubs who owe me money.
Yeah.
And they've asked me to delay. So no problem. I mean, these monies are, because not many transfers happen. I didn't get to do any transfer that I was solely, that was sole person. There was a big transfer that I was involved in this January, but as a representative of the club, and which was Fenerbahce. But I have clubs that have asked me to, Muzzi, can we please delay it? And you have to understand. I mean, I have to understand their situation. If I put more pressure on them, okay, they're gonna give me more money. If I go for, I'm gonna get that money paid. But it's either have it now and have a bad relationship with that club, or be understanding and accept it and just get paid later and have the respect of the club. So you have to balance it out. I mean,
it's playing a long-term game.
Yeah, look, the Inter Milan. I mean, Inter Milan and me, we've had a big fallout because of Emre Mor, and one of the reasons why me and Emre Mor were separated was because of Inter Milan. The Inter Milan club is owned by a Chinese company, right? And I think they're called Samion, something like this. And something S. It sounds like I was there. When I was there, exactly. Pierre, when I was there, you know what I was thinking? I was thinking they were talking about Samsung. I said, hold on, let's say China, Samsung. I never forgot. It was 38, 40 degrees. It was mid-July in Milan. They have a little office just in the old street, and I'm out in the balcony. I'm just checking. I'm like, Samsung, is it Chinese or is it Korean? Is it Korean? And so I came and the sporting director Sabatini. Have you heard of Sabatini?
Yeah.
Sabatini is a director, one of the most famous directors in Italy, right? Sporting directors. This guy, with due respect, I mean, but anyway, let me get to the point. Sabatini, I have to be a bit rude, but I don't care. Sabatini is 75, I think. Like, when I look at him, he looks older than 75, right? And I kid you not, I was in a meeting with him for an hour, not for 90 minutes, okay?
You fall asleep?
He had a box of cigarettes, right? 2 boxes of cigarettes, in fact. One was on the table, okay? And I've never seen someone smoke that much, He was smoking like crazy. And he's, he's white. When someone's, he has no blood in his body. He's so, it's unbelievable if he has no blood in his body. I got Sabatini. I said, Mr. Sabatini. He said, because at the time I was waiting for an answer from somewhere. And I'm looking at him. I'm Mr. Sabatini, because I became, I think it was the 2nd or 3rd meeting. So I could ask him this personal question. I said, Mr. Sabatini, I said, how long have you been smoking for? He said, since I was 14 or. And I said, are you good? Are you healthy? Yeah, no problem. The guy don't eat. The guy just drinks a bloody espresso. Italians are known for this. Just espresso. We had dinner. The dinner was at the hotel, right? The food was coming to the table. I'm like, why is this guy not? I said, why are you not eating? Oh, I'll eat later. He just drinks coffee. Like strong black espresso, double express, bang, bang, bang. Probably had about 10. So, you know, I'm quite surprised. 75 years old, smokes, doesn't affect his heart with all that caffeine in him. You know, it was definitely not decaf because I had to take espresso with him, and I was up. And so yeah. I mean, what happened was, well, what was I saying? Yes, 17. Yes. So this guy was. You know,
he was the mastermind behind the that late 90s, early 2000s Inter team with Ronaldo, with Zamorano, with Djorkaeff, and it just seems to be that sort of person where they've had them past glories kind of carries on regardless whether or not they're still the man for the job anymore.
Yeah, I mean the guy's got a lot of experience, but the guy's character, wow, like
old school.
Mentality. Okay, I'm Turkish, but I have English mentality. You might, I mean, you might know an agent called Ramadani.
Ramadani.
It's one of the. I'll probably put him in the top 10 agents in the world. You know, Fali Ramadani. He represents most of the Balkan players. Anyway, Ramadani is on the phone. At the time, there was a player. Juventus, Inter Milan, who Manchester United wanted one of his players who was a winger. He plays for the Serbian national team. The winger that Man United wanted free.
They bought a couple at the time, didn't they? They're younger Serbian players, but
I'm going to quickly check his name.
Not Tadic, was it? It was another one.
Man United wanted him.
Perisic? No, he's Croatian.
Yeah. No, let's wait. Man United. 1 second. Let me just.
So when you were dealing with Inter Milan, mate, while you're checking that, did you not deal with Piero Sidio at all? No.
No, I didn't deal with him. I dealt directly with Sabatini because at that time in 2017, he was placed as a new sporting director of Inter Milan at the time because he went to a different club and so on. And so one day he called me and said, "We want Emre." That's okay. But at that time, I had 14 clubs that wanted Emre. Okay, Emre was at Borussia Dortmund at the time. He didn't. For me, he didn't have. Okay, he had a lot of hype, you know, and it was my fault. It was absolutely my fault because I picked Emre. He was a boy on the street, right? Within 4 months, I made him a professional footballer. I made him a international player in a Turkish national team, and then I got him transferred to Dortmund for 15 million euros. And he had only played 10 games. The player that's only played 10 games, right? For an 18-year-old who's only played 10 games and got sold for 15 million euros more. So each game is more than 1.2 million euros. He's actually the most expensive player per match if you look at it. If you look at it in that context. So within that 4 months, I said to him, I said, Emre, in summer, this is way back in November. He made his debut in November or October. Okay, he played for about 30 minutes, and they came out the game, and everyone started speaking about him. I said, Emre, just to let you know, you will be going to the Euro 2016. I said, like me and him were quite close. You know, we're like brother, big brother, or sometimes like a father to him as well. He said to me, Muzzi, are you fucking mad? He said, are you fucking crazy? I've only played my first game, and you're telling me in 4 or 5 months' time I'm going to be in the Euros. I said, yeah, I'm not. You think I'm joking? And he wouldn't believe me. I said, leave it to me. Watch. And then, look, I'm going to tell you some stuff. What happens in football? That's going to blow your mind, guys. You know, I'm going to Denmark frequently. I'm probably going maybe 6-7 times per month, you know, to Copenhagen. So I found a player called Emre Mor. He's that playing at FC Nordsjælland. Before that he was at Luby, Luby's around. He got kicked out of Luby because he threw a chair at the coach. You know. So he got kicked out. So he went to the U19 of FC Newsland. And FC Newsland was very famous, probably one of the most respected clubs at this time for their youth system, you know. And so they developed, you know, amazing players. Anyway, so what happened was he came to FC Newsland. He signed his, scholarship contract. And then I came into his life. And I was in Denmark watching a different player, Lopka. Lopka, he went to Celtic. I went to watch Lopka, you know, and at the time I was speaking to Lopka to sign him as be his agent. So we in that sort of this. I'm watching this game, and I said, this little kid from far distance, he looks like his height is 1.50. One. Look, he's getting the ball. And he's doing crazy stuff. I've never seen a player that sprint in the first 10 meters that quick. You know, Aubameyang, not even Aubameyang was that fast. And so I thought, hold on, this player is interesting. So after 10 minutes, I got up and I had this Danish friend next to me. And I said, do me a favor, find me this boy's fucking mum and dad. Okay? So that night, we go to the restaurant. We went to Mash. It's called Mash. It's a steak restaurant in Copenhagen. It's very famous. So he speaks on the phone. He comes back, right? He goes, boss. I said, yes. I've got good news and bad news. I said, what's the good news? I found the mum. I said, what's the bad news? The father's in prison. I said, oh fuck. And I said, why is the father in prison? He said, let me find out more. So he goes back out, right? He comes back and he goes, his father's been in prison because of. I'm not going to say this. I don't want to say this, but not for nothing very good. It was very, very bad. Like the worst things you can think of. He didn't kill anyone, but he done something else. Okay.
Did you know he was Turkish at this time? Did you know?
Yeah, of course.
So you knew that, right?
Yeah, Emre Mor. You know, that's it. Yeah. I'm Turkish, and Mor in Danish means mother. So I was a bit. But anyway, within 2 days, I managed to convince him and sign him. So I signed him. I signed the boy, and I said to him, listen, Emre, the next 4 or 5 months, your life is going to be crazy. And at that time, he was not a professional player. The moment I got him, because, you know, in Denmark, Danish people got a different mentality. I don't know if you guys ever experienced it. I mean, in Denmark, there's a very famous quote called, I can't say it, but it starts with L. It's a long bloody word. And that means, and what that word means, everyone in Denmark, it means everyone is the same. No one is higher than no one, which is a good thing. So basically saying that you can be rich as much as you want, but you don't mean nothing. What they're talking about is, what they're trying to say is, everyone's a human, everyone's on the same level, no one's special.
And it's one of the happiest places to live, isn't it, Denmark?
Yeah.
Apparently, it's been voted one of the happiest places in the world to live because of that. Yeah.
I'll be honest with you, it's the most fucking shittest place I've ever been in my life. No, but honestly, the experience that I suffered, you guys, you're gonna have the shock of your life. God's truth. So I'm out there. The reason why I'm starting, I'm gonna explain everything bit by bit, you know, in detail, so you can understand what it was like. So in Denmark, they're not really fond of foreigners. They don't really like foreigners out there, you know.
Even though everyone should be the same.
Yeah. And so what happened was, when they heard that I was an agent, I said, "Who the fuck is this guy?" Because they was expecting a Danish guy to be an agent. So anyway, I had the first meeting with his name is Carsten, the sporting director of FC Newsland. I sat next to Carsten, and Danish people speak fantastic English. And I said to Carsten, listen, this boy has got an amazing future ahead of him. And he said to me, one thing I respect about him, he said, Muzzi, go slow down. Slow down. What you're telling me is very fast. Slow down. And I said, no, I'm not going to slow down. Because my dream is to have my player in 2006 in European Championship, so I can get my free tickets to go to the, you know, without having any problems, you know. But obviously, I'm saying that in a sarcastic way, but there was more meaning things to it. Anyway, so he said to me, "You're crazy." He said, "You'll not be. We won't sell him." He said. I said, "You won't sell him?" I said, "Yes, we will sell him." He said, "You can't tell me what to do." I said, "Yeah." He said, "How can you tell me what to do? What do you think you are?" I said, "My friend, an offer that's going to come to this table is enough to buy your whole club." I said, "Okay." I said, And he said, "Why are you so bothered about making high money? You know, he's owned by us, not by you." I said, "No problem." I tapped on his shoulder. I said, "You've got." And I said, "You got one. I think I've said 1 week or 2 weeks to go, 1 or 2 weeks to invite me to this desk again to have contract discussions. And if you don't, I'm taking Emre out, and he'll go on a free. He'll go on a free, and you only be paid training compensation." And because at the time he hadn't been at the club for only a short period of time, they weren't going to get much money. They were going to get a small amount of money. And when I said that, his eyes just wide opened. At the time, the club was owned by a Danish businessman. So I get a phone call. "Please come to Denmark. We'd like to discuss an offer, Emre." And I said to him, "Listen, there was 3 games. I said, there's 3 games in the next 2 weeks. There was 1 cup game and 2 league games." I said, "I expect Emre to play at least 1 or 2 games before we sit down on the table." And the reason, look, this is not a right way of how to speak to clubs. So whoever's watching us, whichever agent is watching us, please don't take this advice. The reason why I'm speaking like this, because I knew I had a special player, 1, and 2, Solution was a weak club. Because when you're dealing with big clubs and then you deal with this small club and in a small country, and because I knew that I had the power, and because I had the most highest potential player they had, and the player that they were going to make the most money out of, so I was manipulating the situation. So what happened was he called me, he made his debut, and then the following 2 games he played. So I went there. He called me over. We sat down. I sat down with him, right? So we're speaking about his contract. He's offering 25,000 kron, which is around about £2,500. So anyway, we got that up to 3,500, and 3,500 was the highest they paid for a player who's signing his first professional contract. And obviously, it's not a club. It's not like FC Copenhagen to offer him 10,000 a month. But I made them put a car. I also made them pay for an apartment, which he never really used. So he's happy with that. Then just before, look, he closed his book, and I said, "Why close your book for?" Carson, I've got one more thing to say. Yes, Muzzi. Because he thinks it's done. So what is it? I said, "What is my percentage on the next salon?" He stopped. He opened his eyes. So, well, we don't do that in Denmark. I said, "Excuse me, you don't do this in Denmark?" I said, "Yes, you do." I said, under Danish, because I was registered under the Danish Federation. So, before I went to this meeting, I made the phone calls. Guys, if I get this, if I want to get a commission from the next salon fee, so their lawyer, the Danish Football Association lawyer, will speak to my lawyer, because third party is not allowed. Okay, third party is not allowed in football. But instead of percentages, if you put figures, saying that if you get sold for 5 million, you get this much in figures as a bonus, and the club also give you, and the club make you the person that will be selling the player. Okay, so you're covered. So in fact, you're actually representing the club. Okay, so but it's actually a cover to get to get the next selfie, which everything here is legal. Okay, so when I said that to him, he said, "How much you want?" I said, "I want 35%." And he said, "What? No." He said, no. What I did not know at that time was one scout, Manchester United scout, who became quite successful. He was scouting over in Africa, right? Manchester. He left Man United, or I think they sacked him. His name is Tom Veron. Okay, Tom is also the owner of Right to Buy. So Tom was was purchasing the club. I did not know at the time I was in the contract discussion, but he had two things, two things that he wanted from the club before he bought the club. One, Emre Mor's professional contract has to be signed before he purchased the club. Two, I'm not sure on number 2, so I don't want to comment on that one. So I didn't know this. So this is why when I was sitting down with Carsten, sporting director, the club was owned by a Danish guy, okay? But Carsten obviously knew, and also the Danish guy knew, that everything depended on Emre Mor's contract renewal, of the sale of the club. So he stopped, he froze. He said, Muzzi, give me 1 week. I said, okay. I came back next week. So from 35 we went down to, I think, 15. Yeah, we went down to 15%. So we agreed on 15% of his next sell-on. And then and then what happened was we signed the contracts, and I had so everything's done, everything's cleared up, and then now the only thing I've got is the focus on Emre's career. But at that time, I'm pumping in news about Emre to the Turkish
media.
media. So they know, because where the fuck did this player come from? No one knew. And within 1 month, I had 2 offers in my hand, one from Besiktas and one from Galatasaray. And then I invited the Turkish national team to come and visit me in Hamburg. So they came over, they flew over to Hamburg, and they said to us, listen, we want to get Emre. And I said, guys, Emre will only come if you're gonna give us, because I want you to be fair. I will only bring Emre if you guys are going to give a fair trial on Emre and give him the opportunity, give him the chance to go for 2016. I said, I'm not here to judge on which players the coach takes. I can't do that. But what I can request from you, I said, was the pre-camp before the squad is the 23 squad is announced. So what the coach will do, he'll call up to 30 or 32 players to the summer camp, the pre-camp of the Euro. I said he has to be in that pre-camp, because I knew the moment I put Emre into that camp and he's in Turkey, I was gonna pump up them, because they already arranged two friendly games, during that pre-camp. One against Montenegro, and that one was, I think it was against Slovakia or someone like this. So we managed to take. So anyway, I'm gonna fast forward it, but I'm gonna come back to it again. Actually, wait, I don't fast forward it. I carry on the same. So what happened was, Glenn, he started smashing the Danish league. He scored. He took a ball from the 50 from the first. Sorry, from his own half all the way to the goal against the biggest team in Denmark, which at that time was FC Copenhagen, and scored a wonderful solo goal. And everything went crazy. I was smashing up the place. But
was that the video with when he scores the goal? I think it's 1-0, and then the camera cuts to you in the crowd.
Yeah,
and you're screaming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god! I was like, how did he score that? I was like, it was crazy. And because me and Emre had a very close relationship, and I knew that there was going to be a lot of problems with Emre, personally, because I knew that in a short space of time, a lot of money was going to go into the boy's hand, which he never had, and he was going to be famous. He was going to be very popular. So I knew there was going to be a lot of distractions, and I knew he was going to put himself in a dangerous situation as well. So I knew this, but I never knew the extent. And I never had a player like this before, and I didn't have the experience to control this player, because all the players that at the time I was working with already made stars, and already made themselves, so they had the experience, So I only just moved the player. I never had I never had to tell a player, hey guys, do this, do that, blah blah blah. Anyway, so I'm out there, and one day I rented a jet. Okay, and I took Emre, his mother.
As you do, yeah.
I took it. The thing is, I said to his mum, where do you want to go? Let's go do something. It was Sunday. He was off. Okay, he had 1 day off, Glenn, and I said to him, listen, I said, let's go on a plane and go. He said, where should we go? I said, and so I ran. I forget. I rang the captain. I said, Captain, I said, find out I wanted to take them to the Alps. All right. So I rang the captain. I said, Captain, find out the price for Sion Airport. Sion is just in the bloody right in the corner, near Lugano, in the south of Switzerland, next to the mountains. and I have to find out if we can do it and stuff. So he came back. Right, and it's a hour and a half flight. They want at the time, I'll never forget. I wanted just a landing at that airport and turnaround the same day. It was going to cost me a crazy amount of money. I said, "Fuck that! I ain't paying all that money for fucking Switzerland, So I said, "Fuck it, look for Salzburg in Austria." And then I'll never forget. The pilot said to me, "He said, Muzzi, bloody hell," he said, because these Sion Airport and the Salzburg Airport are Category C airports, right? So the pilot's like, "Muzzi, why you always put me in the challenging? I don't like flying to this airport." Oh, he's got the license to fly to this airport because I don't want to fly here. I said, "Just fly. There's no sun. It's nice and warm. It was spring, Anyway, we booked for Salzburg. We went to Salzburg, right? I went to Salzburg with Emre first time, just sort of also to give him that feel of life, and to say this is a present, and also to the mother and to the brother, it was a present. So we went that sort of Salzburg. We came back, and then we came back. We took a photo. Okay, we took a photo, and I posted it the same day. I posted it on my Instagram. I said, "You can post it as well." I said, "We only went on holiday." This is where it turns nasty. So Beşiktaş called me and said, "Muzzi, we've just redone our stadium. Please come to the opening of our new stadium. It's called the İnönü. Now it's called the Vodafone Arena." And up here. So yeah, so he said to me, "Come to the stadium's opening." I said, "Okay." So I went out there, Glenn. And I'm out there. I'm with Beşiktaş. And we're also discussing about Emre. We're also discussing about Emre. And I had a phone call during the match. It was Beşiktaş against Bursaspor, right? And the person calling me is Carsten. Hello, Carsten. Yeah, hi, Muzzi. We need to speak. Could you come to Denmark, please? It's urgent. I said, "Listen, do I have to come?" Yeah. I said, "Oh, fuck." So I got on a plane the following morning. I flew over to Denmark. So I'm going to Denmark, right? And in front of me, I see Carsten. Usually in this meeting, it's always me and Carsten. But next to him was Tom Reron, a lawyer, and another guy. And I said, "Fuck, what are these people doing here?" I said, because I'm not interested. I don't give a shit about the owner,
Yeah.
But that week we had I don't know if you might have seen the video clip. I came to the stadium with my Bentley, right? And in Denmark, that famous phrase, "Everyone is the same. No one's special. No one's. We're all the same." Okay. He said, and I didn't know. So when I was driving the car, Emre said, "Yeah, go here, go here." We into the stadium. He goes, "We're going to the changing rooms, right, Glenn?" So we're going to the bloody changing rooms, and I didn't know it was a changing room. So I parked right in front of the changing rooms, and the TV crew were there recording us. And the TV crew was like, so he was like, "Muzzi, you can't do this in Denmark. What are you doing to an 18-year-old boy? You put him in a Bentley," because in Denmark it's very expensive. Taxes very high. Not many. You can't see Bentleys around there. It's super bloody rich to afford that car in Denmark because of the tax. Anyway, he goes, "You can't do that. Are you trying to? You're damaging the club's reputation." I said, "Okay." I said, "I apologize for that. I want to do it again. No problem, please, no problem." And then we talk about. I said, "Listen, I actually watching him. I actually interested in Emre." I said, "This club, that club." So we're talking about that. He goes, "Yeah, well, he's our player. We decide." Yeah, I said, "Okay, you decide, but listen, other player's agent. If I tell the player he's not going to go there, he's not going to go there. We're going to do that." Yeah, so. And the club was purchased by Tom Verron. Tom Verron is also the owner of Right to Dream Academy in Ghana. Okay,
right.
And so Tom, I don't give a shit about Tom. So I'll say, he's there, but he's there. He's looking at me like he's very quiet, very quiet. He's trying to be cool. And Carsten's, "Yeah, cool, talk. And I said, "Okay." I said, "Guys, are we finished everything?" "Yeah, we're done the meeting." I said, "Okay, thank you, guys." I was about to say, "Carsten, but not in front of his boss. Carsten, don't ever fucking call me to come to Denmark for a bullshit meeting like this." Okay, this is what I was going to say to Carsten. I kid you not. So I got up, right? I turned around. I'm walking towards the door. I said, "Muzzi, 1 minute." I turn around, right? I said, "Yes, Mr. Carsten. Could you come back? Well, there's one more thing we want to ask you." "Sure," I said. So I sat down. I said, what is it you want to ask me?" He said, "Where did you go with that private jet with Emre?" I said, "What's it to you? You went to Salzburg, didn't you?" I said, "How the fuck did you know that?" Because I purposely did not make that plane take off from Copenhagen. I took that plane out of, where Legoland is based. Milan, okay? I said, "How the fuck do you?" And I had a fucking the airline, the private jet company is my regular. I'm their regular customer. I said, "They motherfuckers can't give out my flight plan details to these." And he said to me, "You was at Salzburg, wasn't you?" He said to me, "You met with Christopher Food, who's a sporting director of Red Bull Salzburg." Okay, and he said, "You met Jochen as well. Jochen now is the head of youth at Bayern Munich." All right, I froze. Okay, I froze because I didn't meet them. Right, but I did not meet them on that day. Okay, because we was out there in Salzburg just to, it's a nice city. It's a nice. Bloody, what's the wife's pick up there? Oh, bloody hell. Yeah, so it's a nice place. So anyway, what happened was I sat down. I was baffled. I said, "How the fuck do you guys know?" I said, he says to me, "You took Emre to Salzburg and you had a meeting with Salzburg. So what you've done on the FIFA regulation is tapping, all right?" He said, "Now we're gonna." He said, "Now you know that 15% you've got from us." I said, I just kept quiet. I said, because if he was the time to speak, I'll say, "I'll not speak without my lawyer." He said to me, "You know that 50% you got, you're not gonna have that." He said, "Because we're gonna fuck you." He said, "All right." He said that to me. I looked at Tom. I said, "Tom, what the fuck? What's this guy talking about?" I said, "I like stupid." I said, "You think I'm really stupid to take a player?" I said, and luckily that day, Salzburg were not even in Salzburg. They were in Vienna playing against Rapid Vienna, right? On that day that we went. He put the flight plan on my table, right? He put the flight plan on my table. And do you know how they found out? Okay, I'll tell you, I'm going to tell you, let me explain a bit more. So anyway, I was like, "Fuck, I'm fucked." I said, "These cunts are going to come out with some bullshit." I said, "Because that 15%, I've already made a calculation." I said, "I'm going to earn up 2.5 million. Guys, I'm going to put my phone on charger. Wait 1 minute. I'm gonna. Is there a charger here? Yeah, there is a charger. Yeah. Bloody, always been speaking quite for a while.
It's fucking the Denmark Viking mentality was coming out from Carsten.
Let me.
But they weren't ready for the Ottoman. They weren't ready for the Ottoman.
Wait. There's more to the story. So,
Is it Sunday yet?
so guys, yeah. So what happened was, I said to myself, "Fuck." I said, "These cunts are gonna come out with some bullshit. Tell FIFA. Now FIFA are gonna investigate me, and because I ran Christopher, right? So I came out of the meeting. I went to my hotel. I was staying at the Radisson SAS, okay, opposite the Copenhagen Island Hotel. Sorry, it's called Radisson Tivoli. Tivoli is a very famous theme park in Denmark. So I'm staying at that bloody hotel, okay. And then I get a phone call, not from my phone, because I was on the phone already to someone. And actually, before that, after that meeting finished, I went downstairs. I turned white. I went, "Fuck, these fuckers are gonna fuck around with me." I said, just so because they were very Tom because he bought the club. His dream was to get my 15% share. So he wanted to make every single fucking excuse just to get that fucking 15%. And I ain't gonna give it to him, And then I went downstairs after that meeting, and Emre finished training. Was he training? Or was it? I don't know. It was. We finished training. Was ongoing. I said, "Muzzi, I told him everything." I said, "What do you mean, fucking told him everything?" He said, "They fucking showed pictures of us." I said, "What do you mean they showed pictures of us? Pictures of us in Salzburg, and pictures of us getting on the fucking plane." I said, "What?" Yes. I said, "How the fuck did this?" Obviously, I knew, but I'm not gonna tell you yet. Then, so I go to the hotel the following day. got to the hotel, I'm sleeping. But I can't sleep. I ring Christopher, the sporting director. I'm like, Christopher, you won't believe this. I said, what? He said, what happened was it? I said, do you want Emre? He said, no. I said, well, even if you want it, I'm not going to give it to him now to you. I said, I don't want Emre because he wanted a different player from me. And I said, you know what? I said, Carson from FC Lushland. Yeah, what about him? He said, he's telling me I bought Emre there. He said, is he fucking stupid? He said, you know, he didn't say that. He said, is he crazy? We're Red Bull. And I thought to myself, hold on, he can't go. And I said to myself, there's no way that he can go and sue Red Bull. You know, he can't go and sue Red Bull because Red Bull is a multi-billion company. You're just a bloody 6-7 million worth club. You ain't got no chance against Red Bull. You know, and you know, if things go to that category, you know, we know that FIFA will protect Red Bull because then it's a big club that's involved in 3-4 different leagues in the world. And so I said to myself, nah. But then I start seeing things in the media, right? About where did Muzzi take Emre on a secret meeting, you know, to wherever. I think they even said Salzburg there. But anyway, so the phone calls. My hotel phone never rings. My hotel phone starts calling. I pick it up, and I haven't told no one that I'm staying at this fucking hotel. The only person, even Emma doesn't even know that I'm staying at this hotel. Actually, in fact, because the reason why I was changing because I had the local gangsters where Emma grew up that were after me for money, protection money, because they said, hey, we protect Emma to this age. You know, we keep them away from bad stuff. So you're gonna look after us, okay? I had one meeting with these gangsters, and I said, "Fuck, you know, what am I into? Am I doing a fucking football transfer? Am I, you know?" And in Denmark, it's a small country, right? But the Danish media are bombarding me. They hated me because at that time I also moved Emre to the Turkish national team, right? And the Danish even in the parliament, because it's a 5 million population, it's a small country, right? And Denmark produces a top player every 3 to 5 years. You know, at that time, Christian Eriksen, then it was Emre Mor. Okay, there was no between that, and before the Michael Lloyd drop, and so on and so on. So Denmark had a big dream of having Emre in their national team for a long term, really, okay? And then, so what happened was my phone rang, the hotel room phone. I pick up. I said, "Hello, hello," and I said, "Muzzi, come fucking downstairs now." Carson, is it you? You know it's me. Come down. And I shut the phone. I said, "How the fuck?" I swear to God, I was shitting myself. Like, look, when I was shitting, like, you know, because he got me paranoid. I said, "How the fuck this guy doesn't know where the fuck I am?" You know, I haven't told no one. I haven't even posted anything. I haven't even told my own mother or my girlfriend at the time. I went downstairs, right? In Denmark, I never stayed in the same hotel. I would always. So basically, if I was to meet someone in Denmark, I'll tell them come to this hotel, which is not the hotel that I'm staying at, right? I'm staying at a different hotel because Denmark is 5 million people, right? And in that, the largest city is Copenhagen, obviously, and everyone knows everyone knows each other. And because everyone in Denmark at the time knew me, and I was like, you know, what
the road agent.
Yeah, like took our player, you know, and the way I was, but the Danish media liked me because I was very stubborn. I was like, guys, why should Emre choose the Danish national team? When was the last time you don't went to the Euros or the World Cup? You know, last time I remember you don't went to the World Cup was I think I said was in 2002. Anyway, so I go downstairs. After that lift was the longest journey downstairs. All right, I got down the lift, and in front of me is Carsten. But I've never seen Carsten so angry. He sat down. He said to me, "You went behind my back and you sat down with Christopher." I said, "Yeah, I did sit down with Christopher, but not on that day. I wasn't with Christopher. Christopher was in Vienna." I said, "I stopped fucking making the bullshit." I said, "What you're doing is totally out of order. Stop fucking around me." I said, because I said, "What happened? You will lose the case." I said, "Because Red Bull will be on my side." No, he said, "You fuck." He said, "You know what? I'm gonna take you to FIFA. I've told my lawyers." But the way he's speaking to me, he said, "I also know you went to this and that club. without telling us, and you're speaking about he knew everything. And then I had a very good friend. I said, he lived in Denmark. I said, his name's Heracle. I said, Heracle, this motherfucker knows what I'm doing. Whatever I'm doing in Denmark, he knows, right? And then, anyway, let me get to the end of the story. The Danish club hired three, not one, not two, 3 detectives to follow me, to see who I was speaking to see where I was going, to see who I was speaking to. And this was all arranged by Tom, because they knew they never had the control of Emre. I had the control of Emre. When they told to Emre to do something, Emre would not do it. When I said do it, he will do it. And because the transfer fee of Emre was going to be such a high fee, and such an important player for the survival of the club, they did not want to take no risk, and they wanted to put me in a trap as best as they can, so they can not give my 15%.
What was the fee in the end, Muzzi? What, 15 million was it?
Yeah, 15 million. Yeah, 15 million.
Yeah, so for a club like that, that's astronomical, mate. Especially that sort of time, because I mean, only a couple of seasons afterwards, you had the Neymar transfer, which then eventually sort of made transfer fees pop. But
Yeah.
that sort of money around them was real top money.
Yeah, top money for players only play 10 games. 10 games.
Yeah.
Is absolutely crazy money. So yeah, Glenn. So then I realized they then they start calling Ajax, and because FC Lucian have got a partnership, because don't forget this club, the Academy in Ghana, Right to Dream, is sponsored by Man City pays money to Right to Dream. Okay, Tom bought the club from Right to buy the FC Lucian. So their plan was to move Emre to Man City, but I wasn't going to do that. I'd offers from Bayern Munich. I'd offers from all the top 10 clubs. 9 of them were knocking on my door. Arsene Wenger called me 12 o'clock at the night for me not to make this deal with Dortmund. And then now this is getting interesting. So we in the Euro. He got okay. I go with him to Antalya. Okay, I go with Antalya to the pre-camp, and then I get a phone call from Michael Zock, the sporting director of Borussia Dortmund. Michael says, Muzzi, Tuchel wants Emre, and Tuchel's not taking no for an answer, and Tuchel has put him as his first target. So please, let's meet up. I said, Michael, I can't come to you. I cannot come to Dortmund. So what do you mean? Why can't you come? I said, well, I can't. I said, if I come there, then I can't. I might not be able to go to the Euros. You know, I might not be able to take Emre to the Euros, because I have to control the situation. I have to do that, ring the media, ring this, put pressure, just so we can get to that squad. But I knew he was going to be taken because he was such an interesting potential that they've never seen. In Turkey, we never had a fast player like Emre. So I knew that, but I didn't want to take no chances. So I said, okay, Michael, wait. I got on the jet. I flew over. I said to Michael, I'll get on the private jet if you pay half of it. It's all right, deal. Got on the jet. Boom. Went to Dortmund. Sat down. Thomas Tuchel's there. Muzzi, I need the player. Muzzi, I want the player. Muzzi, you have to get the player. Okay. But, I said, but you guys just say, Man City wants him, this, want him, that. All these teams want him. So we know, but you have to. And then he said to me, we also get Ozcan Dembele. I said, when he said that to me, I said, perfect. Because the way he was explaining to me, he said left wing Emre, right wing Ozcan Dembele. The players that he was buying were youngsters, but the best talents at the time. I said, okay, this is a great club. Because at that time, Lewandowski's gone. Marco Reus keeps getting injured. Ilkay Gündoğan went to Man City. So a lot of money and so on. And Thomas Tuchel is one of the most amazing character, amazing guy. Okay, and then what happens is we agree, we sit down, we discuss everything, everything's done. But I don't tell Emre. I fly back straight away. I go into my hotel, and then he has his game against Montenegro. He smashes it. Everyone in the media talking it. Everyone's like, "Wow, that's the first game." And then 1 day later, I get a phone call. Muzzi, come to the hotel or the national team. I said, "Why? What's up?" Because we're trying to explain something to Emre, but Emre, because there was a language barrier. Emre doesn't know how to speak Turkish. He understands Turkish, but not very much. So there was a big problem. And so I went out there to the hotel because I knew this was going to happen. So I'm sitting down, we're discussing, and at the time, the coach of the national team blinked at me, and I knew, okay, because the following day they announced the squad, the following night. But what if he gets announced, he's in the squad? I was saying at Kempinski Hotel in Belek in Antalya. I was saying I think it was on the second floor, and I jumped from when it was announced. His name was. I went crazy. I started crying. Took off my jumper, not my jumper, my t-shirt, and I just jumped into the swimming pool because it was such a big success. But Emre still does not know about Dortmund. I still have not told him about Dortmund, Borussia Dortmund. And then what happened was, I said, Emre, they went to Slovenia before they flew over to France, to Marseille. So they were in Slovenia just for a friendly match, and I'm in Slovenia at the time. And what happens in Slovenia is I go there, I speak to Emre. I say, Emre, look, you'll be going to Borussia Dortmund. Tomorrow I'm flying. You'll be flying to France. I'll be flying to Borussia Dortmund. And he was obviously very happy. He said, how much money am I going to get? I said, you're going to get big money. I said, how much? I said, well, we haven't really decided on the figures here. Well, give me a prediction. I said, well, I don't know, maybe 1.2, 1.3, maybe 1.4. Depends on how you play tomorrow, I said as well. He said, okay. So I flew over to Dortmund again, right? But I had to fly from Slovenia to Copenhagen, right? To Copenhagen, and from Copenhagen I had to fly to Düsseldorf to have the meeting. Have the meeting in Dortmund, its nearest airport. So I'm at Copenhagen, and guess who comes in front of me? Carsten. Carsten goes. He goes. Are you going to Germany? I said yes. I said, how do you know? He said, I'm gonna be out there as well. I said, what do you want to be out there for? He goes, yeah, because when you agree with Dortmund, because we want him to go to Dortmund, right? So you have to sign for Dortmund. And obviously it was my first choice because I knew it was the best club. I said, all right, Carsten. I said, which flight are you on? He said, I'm not on no flight today. I'm coming tomorrow. He said. So why the fuck did you come to the airport for? You just told me because I wanted to see you. I just wanted to make sure you get on that plane to go to Dortmund because there was no trust. Anyway, I flew. Bam! I went. I stayed at the hotel, right? Hotel opposite the office, the head office of Dortmund. So it's a 4-star hotel, but really shit wooden. It's all wooden, nothing modern. We had to move the fucking bed, right, in the hotel room to a socket to charge the bloody phone. That's how bad it was. But anyway, so we're staying at the hotel. I'm staying at the hotel. I'm making plans. How's the meeting gonna go? So I sat down. So we started. I go and sit down with him, right? And Carsten is staying at a better hotel called the Steinberger, right? That's also opposite. That's a fucking better hotel. I'm staying in a shit hotel. The reason I'm staying at a shit hotel because Dortmund told me to book this hotel. Anyway, so I went across the road to the office. Sat down. Michael Zox next to me. Then Weitzer, typical Germany, the chairman of Dortmund, president of Dortmund. Sorry, he came. We sat down. We discussed it. But I'm pushing for more money. And I believe the bonuses are crazy. Wow, the bonuses. Dortmund to win. Look, for each point, you're getting around about €13,000 for each point, right? But this contract is fucking crazy, right? I'm like, not good enough, Massey. I said, Massey offered me more money. Trust me, they didn't. But anyway, because Massey did not going to buy him for first team. They knew that he would not be ready for the Premiership in his first season. They were going to loan him out, so they gave him an average contract. So I'm pushing it. And next minute, Whiteside, the chairman, he always kept his mouth shut. Look at them, goes, "Don't push your luck." Or if he signs or he doesn't sign it, it's done. Don't push your luck no more.
You know at that stage, don't you? Yeah.
I said, okay, no problem. I said, Michael, let's sign that. I said, okay, I'm ready. He said, we have to get Emre. I said, yeah, but they're going to play against Croatia. I said, how can I bring him out? I said, he goes, no, he has to come here. I said, wait, it was 3 days time. They're going to have to go to Paris, Turkish national team, to play against Croatia, the first group stage. I said, how the fuck am I going to do it? And fighting him, everyone's scared of fighting him. Even I'm scared of fighting him. Fighting him with the coach of Turkey at the time. He's a. They call him Imperator. They call him the Empire.
He's the Godfather, mate. He's the Godfather.
The guy. Listen. He's a guy that walk on the road like.
Mate, he made you get up off your seat as well.
Bro, you got to salute him. Everyone's, Arda. Arda at the time. Arda was the biggest player.
Arda Turan, yeah.
Arda Turan, everyone shits himself. I was shitting myself, and I got enough. I don't give a shit. I don't play for the
You shit yourself a lot, bro.
But it's because of the respect. How the fuck am I? I said, Michael. I said, Mr. Fatim, because he started laughing. Yes. I said, how do you expect me to call him to give Emre permission to bring Emre to Dortmund to sign his? I said, I said, you might as well kill me. I said. He started laughing. He said, Muzzi, I'll pay half of the flight. You pay half the flight. Fly over there to Marseille, bring him over. So I'm calling. I spoke to so many people, but I'm calling Fatim on his personal. So I called him. Yes, son. Hi, it's me, Muzzi. I said, yes, son. How can I help you, son? Why did you call me? What's up? I said, Emre Mor. Yes, son. What about him? Borussia Dortmund wants to sign him, and we need to bring him over. He said to me, call me tonight. I'll think about it. So he shut, but Mikhail Zok's telling me he needs to come tomorrow. We've arranged everything at the hospital. Has to do medical test. Because don't want to get it done dusted before someone else comes up, before Arsenal come and make another fucking big offer, make an offer. So anyway, check this out. So we agreed. We agreed on the personal contract. Then he called Carsten, F. Solution, Tom, Veron, the lawyer, and Carsten. 3 of them saying that Steinberg is also opposite the Borussia Dortmund. Yeah, they're going to call him to come over so they can agree on the transfer fee. Right. So I'm walking. I said to my partner, I said, "Fuck it, let's go eat at the Steinberger." But I don't know he's staying at the Steinberger, right? So I go to the Steinberger into the garden bit, right? I go there, and the 3 musketeers are in front of me. I said, "Fuck it, man." I said, "Hi, Carsten." He goes, "Hi. Did you have the meeting with Borussia Dortmund?" I said, "Yeah, we had a meeting." So how did it go? Oh, he said it went well. I said, you're gonna finish it. I said, please finish it out. Please finish it at 12. I said, don't push your luck too much. Just finish it at 12. He said, Muzzi, don't worry about that. It's not your problem. Because I knew that because they were always on the phone. Everyone was making an offer, like Arsenal making an offer. All right, we'll pay you more money. Get out from that table, right? But they knew that club was the best club. So half an hour went. We all love food, but I can't eat my food. I'm just eating my food. Like I can't swallow it. I'm drinking water. I drank 1 liter of water, but my throat is still dry. I'm like, what the fuck? My hands sweating. I'm like, shit. I'm sweating. I'm panicking like shit because I knew I was worried that they're gonna fuck it up. Because I had a meeting. My agreement on the contract don't mean shit unless the club agrees.
Yeah.
Then because Zok called me and said, Muzzi, come back up to the head office. Okay. So I'm walking. But as I'm walking, I'm like, why these 3 musketeers haven't come out yet? Right? I'm walking. I go into the office. And Michael Zok said to me one thing. His lawyer was on the table. Everyone was on the table. He said, listen, we're going to get up and go. Okay? So you guys come into agreement now I said, well, why should I come into agreement? I said, no, I got nothing. I don't know. He said, we made our final offer, but they want more money, so you speak to them. I said, okay. So they got up and they went. And they left me and the 3 musketeers in that room. So what's the problem? Why are you not accepting it? I said, where's the offer? They showed me the offer. I said, are you crazy? I said, accept it still. Nah, not good enough. I said, how much money do you want? I said, what you after? Tell me what you're after. And he said, he said, you know your 15%? I said, yes. He said, we want 5% of that. You can have 10%, but we want the 5%. Because they know I'm going to get that money 15%. I said, excuse me? He said, we want that 5%. I said, you have to give us the 5%. Because, the money they wanted was 500,000 more. Right? Michael Zock said, I ain't going to give you no 500,000 more. I gave you, this is my final offer. Then they tell Michael Zock, okay, call Muzzi, let's try and speak with Muzzi because he's got the sell-off thing. So they planned, so they waited. They didn't fuck around with me until that last day of the transfer day. And they called me to take that. And I took the 500,000 euro of my money. So they said, either do this or we get up and go. But I said to myself, I knew for my player it was the best club.
Yeah.
So I agreed to it. I gave him that 500. I said, hey, all right, take the 500. So I gave the 500 to him, right? And then, the transfer was done. I had to go on the plane. I don't know if I can take Emre. I'll get on the plane. I'll go to the hotel. It's not even a hotel. It's a military bloody barracks. There's military. There's they call it gendarme. You know, military guy. I just managed to get into the national team hotel, and Emre's waiting for. And Emre's there. Emre's packed his bag and ready to come. And then I speak to Fatu. Yeah, everything's done. We need Emre for. If tonight we'll stay tomorrow morning. Because the plane's at Marseille International Airport, and tomorrow morning we can fly and go. I said, and we'll be back late in the afternoon. So all right, train starts at 5. Please be here before 5. So we go to the airport. We're at the hotel. Emre says, I got my passport. I said, all right, cool. Give me a passport. I said, I'm going to give it to the pilot. Because the pilot has to fill out the forms and shit. He gives me his Turkish passport. I looked at him. I said, where's your fucking Danish passport? I'll bring that. I said, what do you mean you didn't fucking bring that? Said, well, Turkish passport is good enough. I said, you stupid. I said, Turkey's not part of the European Union. We're flying from France to Germany. You need a European passport or a passport that don't need a visa. I said, how do you think when it's what should we do? I said, and the plane has to get up and leave at 10. I rang the pilot. I said, pilot, hold on. Tell air traffic control to delay the slot. I rang national team. I said, send me they send a taxi, and it takes about an hour to come to the airport. We came to the airport. We got that. We just ran through security. Like there's a VIP security, right? So
I bet Emre Mor got there first.
Oh yeah. I mean, Glenn, we ran onto that plane, and then the pilot says to me, guys, I think it's better if we wait for another half an hour. So why? He said there's a lot of electronic clouds. I said, fuck the electric. Go around it, man. I'm going to bring this player fucking here by 4 o'clock. Or, I promised the coach. He said, well, he said, if you want. He said, but it costs more. I don't give a shit. I said, just fucking fly the plane. Anyway, so you have to move the plane a bit, just so he doesn't hit them clouds. Because it's summer. This is June time, right? It's in June time. So there's a bit of rain. You know that summer rains you have? But the ones with the thunders, We have to... So, the cockpit doors open, right? So at that time, me and Emre are celebrating. I've got the videos and stuff. Me and Emre are celebrating. We're like, yeah, we've done it. And I look at, and because the cockpit, when the doors open, we can see what the pilot's doing. Like Hiroshima, the nuclear bomb, that mushroom cloud.
Yeah.
There's a fucking big mushroom cloud in front. I said, you're not going to go through the are you? He said, no, that's what I'm telling you. We have to go around it. I said, well, fucking go around it now. I said, because I started to be a pilot. My dream was to be a pilot. I said, go around it. Because I started, I'm very superstitious. I was like, shit, we're going to die before we get, before we fucking land, before we do the time out. Man, and it was one of the biggest monies I was going to earn. Anyway, bam, we landed. We got on the car. We went. I said, Emre, sign fucking. Then Emre said, no, I'm not change this. I said, fuck that, Emre, just sign. You're earning fucking £3,500 a month. What the fuck are you talking about? And shut the fuck up. I said, sign the fucking paper. We signed it. We went for a health check. Done the health check. And then Emre says, come with me to Marseille. I said, nah, bro, I ain't coming back to Marseille. No way. So what am I doing in Marseille? I'm going to go to Marseille. And then what? I'm the same Marseille. He goes, yeah, come. I said, no. I'm never forgetting Hamburg on that day. Chris Brown had a concert. I said, no, I got my VIP tickets. So me and my partner, we booked a lounge. I said, we're going to go to Chris Brown's concert. I'm done. I'm not killing you. You know, I've only probably explained you back 25%. But when I was in Denmark, I had the mafia on my case. I had gangsters on my case. I had the detectives on my case. Everyone was on my case. You know, everyone.
But the deal got done.
Yeah, but the deal got done. And I
Right,
kid you not,
nice.
from Dortmund to Hamburg, it's a 4-hour journey, right? I cried for like 4 hours. I cried because I was crying because what I went
You had Glenn crying earlier on.
bro, I took 4 players. I took it's 4 months from nothing into something, and all this fucking shit going on.
The emotion, everything.
Muzzi,
Yeah.
you've done us right up, mate. How am I going to follow that story up with anybody else or any?
I'm sorry, man. I hope I'm not going over the time. You know.
No, not at all. No,
No.
what I mean is that is not going to be another story with any other as eventful as that one.
No one can beat that story. I wanted to ask you a couple of questions about Emre Mor. No, I'm joking.
No, go.
Right,
Go on, sir.
no, I was just going to say, I think it's great how honest and how much detail you went into there, because as a football fan, we don't see that side of it. We're waiting for the player to hold up the shirt with the number, and we know that the deal's done. Being a West Ham fan myself, the amount of players we get linked to in any window doesn't mean anything until you see that. But until you get to that point, no one sees the stress that you go through and things that you went through there as well. I mean, it sounds like this particular deal was a little bit unique. You kind of went in, if you don't mind me saying, with a little bit more of a kind of a bullying tactic to make sure you got your man. Now, I was one of those people that bought into the hype of Emre Mor, leading up to those championships, watching him play. He was low to gravity. He could have been the next Messi, that type of thing. Very quickly, where do you think it went so wrong for him? Because he is still young. Let's not face it. He is only 23 years old. Why has it gone so wrong from being one of the most upcoming players to where he is now, where he's really in limbo, going out on loan and stuff like that? So what do you think has led to that from your experience?
Do you think the hype has damaged that?
Let me tell you something. When Emre was with me, he was number one. He was the most Google searched person or subject in Turkey. All right. We had sponsorship deals left, right, centre. I was protecting him from the Turkish media, international media. I was protecting him from everywhere. I was living with him, right, in Dortmund. But the day that boy left me, downhill. And the way he left me, this is another story. I don't know if we have times. If we have the time, I will explain it to you as well. When he left, I'm not here to make myself look, but I made him.
Yeah.
He also, He also put a lot of things in my life. He also made me to a certain extent, but I made him. I brought him. I hold his hand when he was a street boy. In 4 months, I took him from where to there. At Dortmund, he played around about 12, 13 games. Yeah. I was expecting that for his first season. I didn't expect him to settle down, But, Emre, people don't understand Emre. Emre had a very tough life, He didn't have a stability life, a family stability life. His mum died divorced. His father, was in prison and, so on and so on. So this affected the boy a lot. And He never had this role model, a father role model, and I was the closest thing to it. I'm not saying that I can replace his father, but
No, but you
but
gave him someone to look up to and
yeah.
someone
So
to want to
yeah,
do
I was
that.
telling him the rights and wrongs.
Yeah,
Do this, do that, do this, and don't do this, and and I was protecting him. And whenever I was not in Dortmund, because sometimes I have to spend time with my own mother. At the time I was not married, but I had my own stuff to do as well. But I had to commit my life to this boy to keep him on the right track to be on that certain level
yeah.
that he's educated enough that I can relax and go, and concentrate on my other deals.
Well, because he probably hasn't moved away from home before. He hasn't had to learn a new language, a new culture, fame as well. And he's a good, young boy, good-looking boy. He's going to have all of that, all of that coming in as well. But look, he's not the only one to have experienced that. I'm going to mention a name now who you've all probably heard of, but it was the same as Nuri Sahin. He come on and went through that Dortmund process, and he was exactly the same. He was a poster boy. And he had a lot of problems settling in, and he was a German Turk, but it went wrong for him as well.
Nuri is one of the most humble, most professional players. Don't forget, his second spell at Dortmund was not based on his ability. Okay, he had his ability, but he was based on his character and the influence that he gave and the protection he gave. To carry the philosophy of Dortmund to the young generation, because he was a mentor, he was an educator. He was absolutely outstanding. One of the most professional Turkish players I ever met in my life, Nuri Sahin.
Really,
more German mentality,
Mentality is he's not a Turk up here. He's a German up here. In here is a Turk. Okay, Mesut, German Turk, but now he's changed that bit. So what I'm trying to say is the way me and Emre separated was such a disgusting way. So at the time, the Turkish national team was controlled by Lucescu, the Romanian. He was at the time at Shakhtar Donetsk. Then became Turkish national. So the problem starts here. Emre says, "Muzzi, I want to leave Dortmund." He was not happy at Dortmund. Okay. I made Emre buy a house for 1.2 million euros straight away. The reason being is I didn't want him to wake up every day and have a bank account with 6-7 figures. I wanted him to invest. I said, "Look, Emre, these are digits. If you go to the bank today and say to the bank, guys, I have, example, 1 million euro in the bank. Give me my money, all of them. They won't do that." I said, "You cannot even touch your own money." I said, "But you have to invest in asset. You have to buy. You have to invest in business. But for security, just property. Buy property." I said, "Don't buy nothing else." So I was trying to keep him on a budget, and he was a very, I separate him, but in my heart, he's always got a place. No matter what happened, all that bad stuff happened. But anyway,
would you give him a monthly sort of budget, Muzzi? Would you?
Well, he was earning a clean 150,000 a month. That's a serious amount of money for an 18-year-old.
Yeah.
And from someone who was earning £3,500, and that's not even clean. That's after you cut the tax and blah blah blah. So he was earning a large amount of money, guys. And the problem with what happened, the way it happened. So when the national team coach was Lucescu, he became the manager, and the first month he wanted to visit all the top players that were playing for Turkish national team. He wanted to visit them, so he flew first to Barcelona. He met with Arda, trying to convince him to come back to the Turkish national team, and then he flew to Milan. And he met Hakan Çalhanoğlu. Hakan Çalhanoğlu was also my good friend. At the time, he was playing. At the time, when Emre was playing, he just recently came out of his ban. He was banned for 6 months because of a previous transfer that was due to Trabzonspor. Anyway, so I went to Hakan Çalhanoğlu's wedding. He got married around about May. Me and Emre, we drove. to his wedding. So we was very close. And then what happened was, what was very disgusting. Lucescu tells us, "Hey, I'm coming to Germany to meet Emre." At the time, Ömer Toprak and Nuri Şahin. These 3 Turkish players. And there was another player who's called Kaan Ayhan. So all 4 of us were all going to meet up. But Emre was injured. Emre was having treatment, right? So we all drove to Düsseldorf. So we all drove to Düsseldorf. But we came 10 minutes late because I said, guys, I'd tell them beforehand, but we'll be 5 minutes late. But we came, and then we see the assistant manager of Turkey, but we don't see Lucescu. I said, where's Lucescu? Why is Lucescu not here? And I called Nuri. I said, Nuri, where are you? He said, Muzzi, I'm taking the coach to I'm taking the coach to guys. Shakara speaking.
Yeah.
He said, Nuri said to me, Muzzi, I put Lucescu in the car. I'm driving into Dortmund. I said, if you're driving to Dortmund, I said, why the fuck do we not have the meeting in Dortmund? There's 3 players in Dortmund. Why do we have to fucking all the drive to Düsseldorf? Anyway,
Like an hour away,
without even seeing Emre, without seeing Ömer, without seeing Kaan Ayhan, he went. Okay, so we went there for nothing, and Emre was pissed off. And at that time, so Emre wants to leave. He's not happy at Dortmund. He wants to go. Dortmund are not happy. I was having a monthly meeting with Thomas Tuchel, and to improve Emre. So we were having these meetings and so on. And then what happened was, we came back. So we had about 14, 15 clubs that wanted Emre. From Benfica to Valencia to Sevilla, clubs in England, Lyon, and even Paris Saint-Germain were interested. Who else? Monaco were interested. A lot of clubs that were interested in Emre. So what we've done was, but one of the biggest teams that we felt was very interesting was Inter Milan. So anyway, I flew over to have a discussion with Sabatini. So I have a discussion. The first meeting, we agreed on his wages, okay? Which was, he was going to get paid double the amount of money he was getting paid at Dortmund, which is massive, right? So we agreed on everything, but the upsetting thing was, my partner at the time, he was involved with me. We're at the table, and he asks Inter Milan asks us how much commission you want, and he says, I want 3 million euros. I looked at him and said, what the fuck? How can you ask for 3 million? But I never knew he was asking that much money. Yeah, we're looking for 3 million euros. And I told you, do not start the price at 3 million. He's not, he's coming because he was going to go to Inter Milan on loan with option to buy.
Yeah.
But the way the option was to buy, because of financial fair play, they were going to make a friendly match. So Dortmund had to play a friendly match with Inter, and Inter were going to pay 1 million or 2 million for this friendly game. Okay, and if they don't, they will have to pay still the money. So this was a sort of a cover for the financial fair play. So we've agreed everything. We've signed everything with Inter Milan. I signed the document. They gave me a piece of document that Emre had to sign. So I flew over back to Dortmund. I said, Emre, sign this paper. This is how much you get money. Obviously, Emre went. I was, oh my God, I can't believe I'm getting. So Emre signed the paper. I sent the paper directly to Inter Milan. I said, there you go. There's the offer. There's the money. We've accepted everything. So now whatever has to be done between Inter Milan and Dortmund. And I said to Inter Milan, if there's anything that I could do, please let me know. Because Mikael Zorc also wanted Emre to go because they couldn't work. They couldn't fix him. They couldn't have him the way they wanted him to be, like Dembele. So what happened was, we were waiting for them to finish. Then Mikael Zorc calls me and says to Muzzi, Inter Milan caused us problems with the transfer fee. I said, okay. So I got on the plane And I flew, we had a second meeting with Sabatini. So I said, Sabatini, what's the problem? We've signed everything, we've agreed everything. I've rejected 14 clubs. Because we agreed to sign with you, I've had to reject 14 clubs that already had made me an offer. And one was Celtic, which he ended up going anyway. So what happened was, Sabatini said, yeah, Muzzi, we rang about 8-9 different coaches, right? And he said, only one person spoke good, the rest spoke bad about him. I said, well, who did you speak to? He said, we spoke to his Danish coaches. I said, in Denmark, everyone hates Emre. Because in Denmark, they say, we built this boy. I understand that point as well. We made Emre, we educated him, we gave him this football, he lived in our country, and now he's sold us for a Turkish national team. I said, you can't expect people to to appreciate that and speak nicely about him, right? And so the only person that spoke good about him was Fatih Terim. So what I done was, I had a plan. I said, Emre, let's get Lucescu, because Lucescu used to be coach of Inter Milan. I think late 80s or maybe early 90s. He used to be coach of Inter Milan. He was the coach of a lot of Italian teams for about 10 years in Italy. So he had a lot of connection, influence, and so on. So check this out. So Lucescu is calling Emre. Emre's not picking up the phones. I am making Emre pick up the phone, or they're ringing me. I'm taking my phone and giving it to Emre. Emre speaking to the coach, okay, Lucescu. I'm like, Emre, tell him about Inter Milan. Tell him to make sure Inter Milan, they can put pressure on Inter Milan to complete this, to do this deal, because we're fucked. Because there was only about 1 week or 8 days left before the transfer window closed, and then it was around about 17th of August. I said, Emre, so check this out. This motherfucker Emre don't pick up. It rings me. I give the phone to Emre to tell Emre to put the pressure. And Lucescu on the phone, you know what he's telling Emre? I did not know about this until Emre told me. Lucescu is telling Emre, your agent's fucking up your deal at Inter Milan. Leave your agent. Okay? This is the national team of Turkish national team is getting involved in something stupid like this. Then our friend, my friend, Emre's friend, Hakan Çalhanoğlu, goes in a partnership deal with his agency, a guy called Bektaş Demirtaş, agrees on a 50-50 with him to convince Emre to join them. So Emre agrees to join them, but I'm at his house. Emre's leaving the house at 8-9 o'clock in the evening, taking my brother with him. And I said to my brother, I said, something really fucked up's happening here, I can see. Emre came back. No, his mother called me. Said, Muzzi, I'm going to come to Germany right away. I have to speak to you urgently. I said, okay. I said, you don't need to come. Because at the time my girlfriend was pregnant. I said, I'm going to go to Hamburg. And I said, don't come. I said, no, I need to come. Don't go nowhere. I said, okay. She came around about 10 o'clock in the evening. The moment she came in, Emre walked out. And I said, oh, fuck. Someone's going to kick off. And then his mother said, Muzzi, we want to leave you. I said, why? He said, well, because of you, the Inter Milan deal didn't happen. So what are you talking about? I showed a paper. I said, there's a paper. They've agreed to it. That we signed it. Everything was agreed. So I cancelled all that one. I said, he said the national team coach told him that you fucked. I said, I didn't fuck up no deal. I have everything signed, agreed to. Because Inter Milan agreed to give €3 million commission. Commission, I didn't agree that I'm not the one who said it. My partner was. And the wage, and in the second meeting while I was Sabatini, I said something, fuck the 3 million, give us 1 million. Take the 2 million, you can take the 3 million, just get this deal done. And he wasn't doing it. And then I said to him, all right, fuck it, give us 500,000. Like, I want to get this deal done just to keep everyone happy. So, yeah, so his own teammate. Anyway, so he ended up leaving us. He joined the Hakan Çalhanoğlu's agency. They only had 2 players. One was Hakan and one was a 3rd or 4th league player in Germany. They take him to Celta Vigo. And check this out. So me and Emre separated in a very bad way. I literally got kicked out, right, of Emre's house. I packed my bags and I said, listen, I'm leaving this house, but you're going to, I'm leaving this head with my head up, but you're going to regret it. In fact, before Emre didn't come, I was with the mother. I called Inter Milan. I said to the director of Inter Milan, I said, what did my partner said? Your partner said, do not speak any money business with Muzzi, and it was your partner who wanted this money. And I said to his mother, I said, there you go. Can you listen to this? Can you hear this? But the damage was done, so they already agreed. So I got them, and I left. I left, and then he went to Celta Vigo, right? But after 1 year, he called me. Emre called me. He said he was to come to Vigo. So I went to Vigo with my wife and my kids. And the reason why he called me, he wanted me to come back to him. He said, let's do it again. But I was through her. I said, Emre, I have trust issues. I can't do it with you no more. I don't think I've got the patience, and I don't think I've got the
especially after everything you've been through.
Yeah. And I said, you've damaged yourself so badly. I don't know where to start from. To bring you back up. And then what Emre said was, he wanted me to come. I knew that. Then I found out that they stole his money. The agency stole his money. And what I also heard from his family relative, I regret the day I left Muzzi, but damage is done. Okay, now I speak to him as a friend. Hi, how are you? Blah blah blah. Good days, happy birthday, and so on. But that's it. No more. We don't have that sort of thing. So after that, his football career went down, because when he was with me, I knew what he was when he was 0, and I knew what he was then, and he was the only person that he would listen to. And unfortunately, he fucked up everything. And I hope he goes back to the level that he should be at, that he deserves.
Yeah.
Because Arsene Wenger said something to me that I'll never forget. He said, Muzzi, after Messi, this boy's God-gifted talent is he could be the second Messi. But
I think everything that you just said, again, very honest account on how relationships can be built and also broken overnight. You built a relationship up initially based on the fact that you spotted a young kid with talent. You took him out of his homeland and made a big move for him. And then fast forward a little while, and then there's obviously a relationship breakdown. But I think that just shows you sometimes what the industry is like. Overnight, things can obviously change very drastically. So, I mean, moving forward from that, obviously, I don't know if you've had any kind of dialogue. Has that kind of made you think about maybe doing things differently with other players, or are you kind of got your guard up a little bit more?
I'll be honest, guys, let me be honest. After Emre, look, I've done some things that no agent should do, which was never, ever, always have a professional boundary with your player.
Yeah.
Obviously, have that friendship, but he needs to know business is business, friendship is friendship. And in football, never, ever get them too mixed up. Football, if you're a lovely person and you have a big heart, it's the wrong business for you. Because in football, there's more disappointments and there's more happiness. As I'm speaking as a player and also as an agent, because in football you have 10 upsetting stuff, but you have one, and that one will make you forget all that 10.
Yeah.
It's every day football changes. Every day in football you cannot have a infinity of highest level. Right now we've got Yoga Mendes, we've got Mino Raiola. These people they're not going to be there forever, like any players. Everything comes to an end. And to be a successful agent, you have to be very honest. You have to be very professional. Right now, what I learned is I tell a player, "You shit, you're not going to go there. I don't know what you're thinking about." No, it don't happen like that. I'm very, very straight. And if you don't
it's made you a lot more stronger and harder with your approach.
Now, as a football agent, before being a football agent, we'll start my football. Maybe Pierre's the same thing. I used to love football. I used to watch every single game. I don't care if it's a third or conference league game. But
So
now,
true.
I don't give a shit. I don't
Yeah.
give a shit what happens. I don't know. Some people ask me, "What's do you see the match?" No, I don't give a shit. The only game I watch is Fenerbahce against Galatasaray.
Yeah.
You know, the big derby game. I'm not interested because football is not. We are businessmen. Our job is to make money,
Yeah.
move player from A to B, or represent the club, whatever. And football is all based on money. You know, players who kiss their shirt, it's all bullshit.
Oh, we've seen that over the years.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't mean.
It's all about money. You know.
Yeah, of course.
But people don't see this. People see the highlight. But because I'm
But they
involved in
need
it,
the people also need something to hold on to,
Yeah.
and they, it's probably best that they keep it that way as well, and that's why football's such a great business, because it's just like maybe a little bit like WWE or WWF or whatever like that,
Yeah.
It's all scripted.
Yeah. And things that you read on the media. Look, I'm an agent, all right. I know what's happening. That you got. I mean, I don't know how much you're involved, but there's some transfers, there's some stuff that I know that are happening, and so when the media writes a story, we know directly if it's a lie or if it's true.
Yeah.
We know that. I know that very well. So I can I can clarify what is right and what is wrong, and football's now too easy. There's no. I have no enjoyment. I guarantee you, 99% most agents, especially the ones who are deeply involved, have no enjoyments. I know it's two of us left.
Yeah, there's only two of us. Well, look, I think it's a good chance now just to kind of round up on everything, mate. I think what you've done today is you've given everyone a good insight into the good, the bad, and the ugly. It's not as glamorous as everyone thinks, but at the same time, there's obviously there's a good side to it. You've been able to travel the world, you've been able to negotiate some deals, you've met some fantastic people along the way, but then along the way you've also been had your wings clipped a little bit with certain people. So you've definitely given us an insight there, so thank you very much for doing that.
No worries.
And we hope to get you back on the show again soon to discuss some stuff.
Summer regards to the boys.